So you are pretty much eliminating children who you think would be the number one, crowd you'd want, for this. You're eliminating their parents because you're eliminating pretty much anyone who's a student. The only people that really are going to benefit from this are people that work overnights and want to try to stay in that schedule on their days off.
Yeah, no, and I agree. Me personally, I don't know so much about you with your job. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I fall asleep around 10 o'clock. So there's the entire TV chunk right there, taken up by sleeping to prepare for the next day's work. I'm not going to waste all that time watching TV shows like that. It almost to me seems, and I really don't like thinking it this way, that they only announced it during this spot just to say, you know what, you guys wanted this, well, here it is. There's no legitimacy around it, there's no feasibility around it. It's just, oh, you wanted it, here it is.
The problem I have with that idea is, why would a company as big as Nickelodeon go off and shoot themselves in the foot and do something like this?
Because I honestly believe that with the bigness of their company and how much that they've expanded, especially since the 90s, they can afford to shoot themselves in the foot once or twice and not take a huge hit.
I believe that anyone who's ever physically shot themselves in the foot would be arguing with you on that very statement.
This is figuratively shooting themselves in the foot.
But, I mean, honestly, anyone who's just willing this is, you know what, we're just going to go off and we're going to throw a couple of $1 million at this, and who cares if we lose it? If that's, something that the CEO of Nickelodeon has approved, that guy needs to be fired.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a hair-raising idea as far as I'm concerned, especially since a lot of the shows are ones that, I don't know about you, but I haven't heard of, that apparently came from the 90s, and I really kind of got to go back and relook at them, because I've never heard of them, I've never seen them, and I've watched a lot of cartoons and TV shows during those years.
Well, I grew up with YTV, so the best of the best, shows were on YTV. YTV didn't just throw anything on there, so I could honestly say that if, the shows that were here that we saw on YTV would have been the best of the best.
Yeah, and very few of these lists that they're putting on Nickelodeon Splat, coming out October 5th, were not on the best of the best.
Yeah,
a lot of them were very far from, so this is really a harebrained head-scratcher as far as I'm concerned on Nickelodeon's part of why this seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, now with just... let me kind of explain to the younger crowd who might actually have stumbled across our show foolishly.
Very foolishly.
Very foolishly. There was a time when you could only watch cartoons, get this,
on Sundays.
On Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
And then channels like YTV and Nickelodeon came along. And suddenly you had a channel that went off, it was about cartoons. And now there's like 5 or 6 networks
even
you can go and watch exclusively for cartoons.
You did forget, you forgot one. It wasn't just Nickelodeon and it wasn't just YTV. You had Teletoon.
Teletoon here in Canada,
yeah. We had Teletoon up here in Canada, which played My Cow and Chicken all the time. It was one of my favorite shows. Still is. Pink in the Brain, all those different things.
And there's like the Cartoon Network. And
you didn't have the 6 billion cartoons that that you have now. You didn't have that luxury. It was a very select, genre of cartoons to have, and and it wasn't just cartoons. You had the, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Power Rangers, the original Power Rangers. Yes, we are that old that we remember when Power Rangers first started.
I do. I mean, I could literally say that was 20 some odd years ago.
24 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, you'd be about right because I was rather at that time.
It's longer than since the Blue Jays last won the World Series.
It was actually about the same time, actually.
That's scary.
This guy's scary,
Which I have to put out that the Blue Jays have clinched first in their division for the first time, in 22 years, and they are heading to the playoffs starting this weekend. So congrats to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I honestly, it hurts me to go off and say anything positive about Toronto, but congratulations to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, no. But anyways, we're gonna take a quick music break, and then we're definitely gonna head back more into the discussion on Nickelodeon Splat.
Do we
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy show. And
give me that darn list. I gotta go off and take a look at this thing, man.
Yeah, you old man, you need your glasses.
Shut up. You really have like light blue pen. Of course I'm gonna need glasses. Here, give me your glasses too. I'm gonna need those.
Oh, it's not my fault. You were born way before the 80s, 90s.
Dude, I mean, seriously, this pen's almost the same color as the paper. How are you supposed to read this?
Well, you know what?
I know, I'm just, seriously, though, I'm taking a look at the list because I'm trying to think, okay, what shows on here that do I actually remember, really liked?
Hey, Arnold.
Hey, Arnold was a pretty good show.
Football Head.
Yeah. That was a really interesting show.
I never missed an episode. I don't understand why it stopped. I think, honestly, kids today would love that show.
Honestly, you know what? I mean, even though, I mean, these are characters that are supposed to be larger than life, in a lot of ways, I mean, they were, typical of actual children.
Yeah, and, most characters in TV shows around the 90s were like that. The Wildberries were another one.
Wildberries.
They were the classic, children and family. You know what I'd actually like to see what Nickelodeon would do, and it would be the smart idea, is bring back the old time of cartoons on Saturdays and Sunday mornings. Start it at 6 a.m. and do it till noon. Or even 4 a.m. to noon on a Saturday and Sunday. I think that would be the best way to bring back the true feeling of the 90s. Not just the, cartoons or the TV shows, but the whole feeling.
No, I absolutely agree. Just looking through a couple of these, like Rugrats, I mean, they were the cornerstone of Nickelodeon for years. Honestly, I think the only Nickelodeon cartoon that has lasted longer than Rugrats did was SpongeBob SquarePants, which ironically is still on the air today.
Yes, and honestly, you couldn't have Nickelodeon TV channel without Rugrats. It would have been...
Yeah.
It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles without Splinter.
Absolutely not. I mean, it's a good one. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I remember watching that. That was actually one of my sister's favorite shows, and so she and I would actually sit down and watch that show together a lot.
Yeah, no, I definitely, a lot of us, we used to get together. I believe it was on every 8 o'clock in the morning every Saturday.
Yeah.
I believe it was. And,
I used to watch it in the evenings with her, which is kind of creepy. I know that after a few episodes, she ended up having nightmares.
Yeah, this was before the time when you could DVR everything. So if you missed an episode, you missed an episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was no going back and rewatching it. Not like today where, I tape like 6 episodes every week to rewatch it later because, of a very busy schedule between taping, our filming, our work, doing our show work. It's a very busy life to be on the air.
Absolutely, between work and being a daddy, and just the last couple of days I've just been so busy, running from one thing to another. We did the show on Tuesday. Yesterday, I had to do a couple of errands, and then we went out, and then we went to meet some friends last night, and again to work today, and I'm exhausted. In fact, after we filmed the show, I gotta go do something else before I can even go home tonight.
Yeah, basically for me, it's our radio show is basically almost 24 hours a day work. It's tiring, but it's worth it to be able to talk on air about very important things to us at least. And I have to tell you a very important fact I actually figured out yesterday: 78 more days until Star Wars.
I want to do the happy dance.
I know, it's it's absolutely unbelievable. I figured it would be the best thing to mention considering this is, a 90s show. 78 days until Star Wars comes
78.
out.
That's pretty awesome, man.
The days are getting closer, and it just feels more and more unreal that Star Wars is coming back this December.
Forget about Splat. Let's talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much to talk about Star Wars.
Hey, I just heard this today. Admiral Akbar is supposedly going to be in The Force Awakens.
I heard, which is actually ironic considering he's going to appear in the C4 Comic-Con here in Winnipeg, around Halloween. So that's awesome. He's going to appear, in our Comic-Con and in the movie this December. So it's going to be a huge, huge thing. Another thing, if you've been watching our Twitter, the mask guy wanted to kill me yesterday because I failed to reveal that we had a very special guest appearing on our show this October.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed out about this. I know one of our producers who's been trying to get a representative from the C4 Comic Convention to come and visit. It was pretty, bummed out. So for you not to go off and to share this information with us, how dare you?
Hey, firsthand how evil I am.
Yes, and you are. I told you this last night when I found out about this, only after you went off and put it on Twitter. I didn't know whether I wanted to slap you upside the head or give you a kiss.
Yeah, no,
and I might end up doing both. So thank you for reminding me.
the fact that I basically told Twitter universe before I told him pretty much says how much I enjoyed being evil last night. This October we have the opportunity to interview a very special guest, a very huge person in the cosplay world, and I believe her very first Canadian Comic-Con, Ryu Lavitz. She's appearing in our Comic-Con this October, and I have been able to ring in an interview.
Now, I don't want to go off and, to jinx anything, so I'm really hoping that this interview does go forward.
It will.
Okay.
This is a guaranteed thing. All parties involved are excited for it. It's a really great honor for all of us. The producers have been partying 24 hours a day.
The producers are absolutely exhausted.
That's why they're partying. They need to get their energy back up.
Yeah.
We submitted our questions and they were approved less than 24 hours later. So yes, this October we're bringing a huge one-of-a-kind interview with the one and only Ryu Lavitz.
And hopefully it's not too early. Just, for people to know, I will be down in Minneapolis on October 22nd and 23rd. Chikara Wrestling is going to be doing a show there on the 22nd in the evening. So, crazy me, I'm going to go off and drive all the way down to Minneapolis to go off and to take in a professional wrestling show, which I never thought I'd do. I think the very idea of anyone from our area going down to, Minneapolis to go off and to see a Vikings game is crazy.
Wait. Since when do the Vikings play? I thought they spent more time, plowing the field than anything. Don't they snow 24 hours a day, 365 days a year?
I don't know. I've heard that Their weather is kind of comparable to ours.
Oh, so it sucks, and sucks.